Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Nessa and today I am doing a tier list for the romanceable characters in Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. So there are currently 16 romanceable characters, and I also left Wolby in there because with these games you just never know. He could be a surprise romanceable character, I don't know, so he's gonna get ranked as well. So I have 4 categories here. I'm already at the altar, and that is just basically I am ready to marry this romanceable NPC, and I just like their vibes. I think they're awesome. I can't wait to spend my life in Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma with them. The second tier is marriage material. So for these folks, I am also almost there. I think that they have a potential. I can see our life together. However, I just need a little bit something more before I get to the altar. And then the third tier is I'm not feeling it unless this is where I don't really think that I can see myself ending up with them. However, I'm always down to change my mind if they have a really cool story or I like their personality or it shines more when we get into the game. So this is kind of like the potential but not there yet kind of ranking. And then of course the last one is no. I don't see myself with them. I don't think their backstory is going to change how I feel. However, things surprise me all the time. So wouldn't it be super awesome if I ended up with someone from the no category? Until I pick someone, everyone is up for grabs. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started with our first one. So let's start with our main male protagonist, the wandering hero, Subaru. He left his cold village in the northern part of Azuma on a mission to save the land. Childhood friends with Kazuya, who hails from the same hometown. Usually relaxed and easygoing, enjoys gazing at the sky. While generally not a fan of battle, he has a strong sense of justice and will fight fiercely to protect his friends and loved ones. So for Subaru, I mean, I like how he looks so far. I like that he's the main protagonist. Of course, his design is very inoffensive, and I don't know, I think I would put him in marriage material. I mean, seeing how he is the main protagonist, I think that he's gonna be amazing and get a lot of screen time, so I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like. Moving on, next on our list, we have Kaguya. So she also left her cold village in the northern part of Azuma on a mission to save the land. Childhood friends with Subaru, who hails from the same hometown, loves being in nature, especially interacting with animals and observing flowers. Although usually calm, she despises evil and resents any acts of injustice. So Kaguya, I mean, I love her design more than I love Subaru's design, and I almost want to put her in the no category only because I'm mostly gonna pick her as the main protagonist. So most likely I'm not gonna be romancing her because I'm going to be her. I'm gonna put her in marriage material, but you know, obviously I'm gonna be her, so I can't marry her. And then next on our list, we have Wolby. Wolby is the protagonist's loyal partner and guide. A bit of a braggart and a klutz, his gluttonous nature leaves him susceptible to sweet bribes, especially Dango. I'm really not sure. Obviously, I don't want to marry Wolby, so I'm just dropping him right away into the no category. Sorry, people who wanted to marry Wolby. I don't even know if you can marry Wolby. He's just on this list just for the maybe factor. Next on our list, we have Aoha. So Aoha is the owner of Aoha's tea house in Spring Village, a friendly, caring young woman who dreams of revitalizing Spring Village and returning it to its former glory. I definitely like her design. I mean, she definitely screams tea house owner, cook, bartender, waitress, kind of, you know, like the stereotypical bachelorette you find at a proprietary establishment. So I like her boots, I like her hair, I like her little outfit going on. I'm sure she cooks really sweet dango, you know, to bribe Wolby with. So where do I put her? I don't think I'm like 100% there with her yet. I don't know. She's marriage material So I'm gonna put her here. I'm not feeling it unless I get to know her more and, of course, kind of figure out what she has going on. So next on the list, we have Murasame, who is a swordsman seeking greatness. He's a samurai who wanders Azuma with the goal of becoming the world's greatest swordsman. Master of the Munen Muso sword style, which means free from empty thoughts, he spends his days training and keeping his sword in good condition. So Murasame seems like the really typical samurai kind of archetype. He has the hakama, the sword, you know, he spends his day training and keeping his sword in good condition. So as far as I know right now, based on the information we have, I would say that I'm not feeling it unless something happens where he shows that he is marriage material. So until then, I think he's gonna have to hang out with Aoha in the I'm not feeling it yet, you need to convince me otherwise. And now moving on, we have Hina. Hina is a mysterious archaeologist. She's half human, half fox were animal who arrives in Azuma on an airship with Maro, claims to be an archaeologist. Childhood events instilled with her a strong desire to help others. Hina actually shows up in Rune Factory 5 as a child, and because I am currently playing Rune Factory 5 right now, I can't see her as a marriageable candidate. It's just not working. My brain is saying no, that she's a child. Also, she's just claiming to be an archaeologist. Is she really an archaeologist, or is she here for some other purpose? I don't know, but for right now, I'm gonna put her in no territory because I just can't. I can't. I still think of her as that little child. And now we have Maro. So Maro is someone who came with Hina, I believe. He is an adventurer who sails the sky. He's a self-proclaimed treasure hunter from a foreign land who came to Azuma by airship in search of a legendary treasure. This sentimental soul is easily moved to tears. Maro seems like he is a little bit young to me. So what Rune Factory likes to do is they like to also add bachelors who are really young looking. And so when I think of Maro, I think of Cecil and I think of Keel, so I just cannot see him as a viable candidate. So I'm definitely gonna have to put him in the no territory for me. I'm sorry, Maro. And now we're getting to Guardians of Azuma's deities. So the first one on our list is Ulaka, and she's the peaceful god of spring and mirth. Azuma's kind, gentle god of spring and merriment. Her benevolence knows no bounds, and she simply wants everyone to live happy, peaceful lives. I really like Ulaka's design. I mean, she's just the embodiment of spring, which is kind of what she is in general. So I think that she's just so cute. I really don't know what it's like to date a goddess and what her personality might be like. I'm guessing that since she's kind and good natured, that she's just going to be a little bland, in my opinion. But I don't know, like, again, I think that it'll be good to know more about her. So I'm gonna put her in the not feeling it yet, unless hopefully, you know, we get to learn more about her, which I'm sure we will, because I think the whole story, at least in the beginning or so, is going to be about the deities, right? With the different villages. I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot about her, and maybe I'll feel a different way. And thus spring ends and we move on to summer with Matsuri. So Matsuri has such a fun name. Her name is like festival, and she is the boisterous god of summer and swords. Carefree god of summer and swords, enjoys physical activities of all kinds. Despite being a master of the blade, she tends to solve problems with brute force instead. So she just looks like she has a great time, and I am all for it. I love her design. I love that she is the embodiment of summer and festival and carefree nature, but also, like, you know, the strong sun, you know, like the radiance coming from her. So I really love that, and I think she's marriage material. I know nothing about her, but just reading her short little description, she does not sound like she's boring, okay? So I'm definitely gonna put her in marriage material. Wow, it looks like so far we have even distributions, which is so funny. And there is just no one that I'm willing to marry right away yet. Let's keep going and maybe we'll find them. So now we move on to fall and Karma, who is the astute god of autumn and wind. He is calm, cool-headed. He is the god of autumn and the wind, well-versed in a variety of subjects. Due to his tactical nature, he excels at every game imaginable, both ancient and modern. Based on how he looks so far, just his expression in general, he seems like he's more strict and uptight. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about him yet. And I think he's definitely gonna be one of the people that I need more time to warm up to and learn about. So because of that, I am gonna put him in. I'm not feeling it unless hopefully I will feel it later, but for now I'm just gonna plop him there and move on to winter. So now we have Fubuki, who is the half-beast god of winter and water. He's a warm-hearted wolf god and somewhat anxious soul who hates to hurt others. We barely get any information about Fubuki. We only got like 2 sentences, but based on what we got so far, I would assume that he is also a more reserved kind of fella, and he is kind, and he is a little bit unsure of himself in the sense where he's always watching what he's saying and he doesn't want to say the wrong things to other people. So because of that, I'm gonna plop him where I'm plopping everyone else, I would say, because I don't know anything about him and I'm just not ready to commit to him. I need to know his story and I need to see his character growth before I make that leap. And now we're done with the seasons, so we're moving on to light and darkness. So the first one is Kanata. So Kanata is the prestigious god of light and heavens, acts as God's official representative, serious and intelligent, but also prone to flights of fancy. So Kanata gives me Arthur vibes from Rune Factory 4, and I'm not sure if it's the haircut or, you know, just the blondness or just the serious and intelligent nature. Arthur was really sweet and very serious, so I can definitely see Kanata kind of embodying that as well. And I would say that I'm gonna also plop her wherever I plopped everyone else. I know, my list is like, I just need to know all these characters before I commit to them. I definitely think that I would like more information about Kanata before I commit to anything. And then we move down to the dark side with Kai, Oni god of the underworld. So he is a leader of the Oni, feared for his incredible strength. Although a bit selfish and rough around the edges, he treats his retainers well, always wears a mask that hides his true face. Kai definitely has the Oni vibes going on. He has that big, you know, metal bat with the spikes on it. Even though these spikes don't look very spiky, they look kind of blunted. His Oni mask is cool, looks terrifying. I love his kimono. Pretty much, I mean, what do I know about him? He's selfish and rough around the edges. Is that marriage material? I don't think it is, right? I think we need more character growth from Mr. Kai here as well. So he can go into this very full boat of not feeling it. And now we're moving on to Clarice. She is a deadly beauty, the leader of a mysterious group that travel to Azuma to further some unknown goal. A cold, battle-hardened soldier who fears little. Her long blonde hair flutters behind her as she fights. So she seems like she has such an icy demeanor, but I'm sure she has a sweet heart. And she seems like she's gonna be in opposition to whatever goals we're trying to get. You know, based on the trailers that we've seen, it always looks like she's fighting Subaru or Kaguya. So I don't know what her deal is, but I would like to know more. And I don't think I can marry her until I figure that out. You know, join the party with everyone else. And now we're going on to the mythic leader of the Jingasa Corps, Ikaruga. So Ikaruga is a mystic from the capital who leads the Jingasa Corps. Mild-mannered by nature, but when his personal goals are at stake, he stops at nothing to achieve them. He has an interesting setup going on for sure. He seems like, you know, like he's a mystic, so he dabbles in all that arts and stuff. He's mild-mannered, scared, but also he's willing to protect, which is nice. But again, I don't know much about him. These two sentences are not lending themselves to me making a choice to run away to the altar with anybody. So I'm gonna also put him in the same spot. Just put him there. Not feeling it. Not yet. We have 2 left to go, and these 2 are only accessible with the DLC pack Seasons of Love. That's very interesting to me that they already have DLC planned, even though the game has not been released yet. However, depending on, I guess, if you did not find anybody that you liked so far, then maybe these next 2 will suit your fancy. Pila is a huntress who honors all life, and she's quiet, plain-spoken, and she comes from Azuma's far north. Her hunting skills know no peers, and she feels deep respect for every living thing. She definitely has a native vibe going on based on kind of like what she's wearing, the patterns, and how she's dressing her hair and such. I'm not sure what she's about. She seems very quiet as well. I mean, I really wish that these descriptions would give me a little bit, just a little bit more about what the characters' personalities would be, but until then, I'm gonna say that I'm plopping her over here as well. Not feeling it yet, but maybe eventually. And then lastly, we have Kolang, who is a soft-spoken puppet master. So he's a mechanical expert who lives in Autumn Village. Although he speaks little and socializes even less, the other villagers can always rely on him, and he never turns away a soul in need. He seems really reserved as well. We have a lot of reserved characters that I'm seeing so far. So I'm wondering how that's gonna work out, and what will their personality say about them that distinguishes them from the others. I want to know who he is. I want to see his events, and maybe I can get there with him. I'm gonna put him here. I think that's a good spot. It's so funny to see that I'm not interested in running away to the altar with anybody yet. And that's to be expected, to be honest, because we know so little about these romanceable characters. I'm open pretty much to the majority of them proving me wrong and getting to know them. Besides Hina and Maro, I would say I don't think that they're gonna change my mind, and I don't think I will pursue them. And Wolby's just, you know, out of the equation. He really should be like here. Okay, well, that is my ranking list. And of course, again, this is all subjective. So if you have a different one, if you have a character that you're really interested in, let me know. If you think that I should move some folks up or down, let me know. I'm all about geeking over specific characters and can't wait till the game so I can play it so that we can experience the characters coming to life. Thanks for joining me for this fun little game. I'll see you next time. Bye. Take care.